Bring a pencil, bring your rival, leave your pride as you take the first step. It is time to go to hell. Hi, welcome to the Book Corner with me, Mish Atagana. Let's discover new worlds together. Hello, beloveds. Welcome back to the Book Corner. As you know, this season, I'm not alone in the studio, so...
Welcome, everybody. I'm now a resident here. My name is Kevin Maina, a.k.a. Maina and I.
You live here now?
I live here now.
This is my couch.
Yeah, so...
So you're like trying to take up space in my corner. As you can see, I
started with my own seat. Probably by episode 10, I should be joining me on that side. But for now, you know, I'm getting cozy on my little corner.
Getting cozy in the book corner.
You know, you got your books, I got my books.
With your tea.
You know, we got our tea.
Oh, excited. Okay, so today we are talking about, again, another book that I read last year. Right. I think, look, this season we're going to talk about a lot of books I read in the last year because you guys know my goal last year was to read 120 books, which I exceeded.
Wow.
And this year's goal is to read 130 books. So it's
Where does she get the time? Congratulations.
Why does that congratulations sound sarcastic?
No, I actually have to congratulate you because...
Is that a real congratulations?
Yeah, my goal is a book a month. And
like one book, like a singular book?
Yeah, like a singular book a month, I think.
That's nice. That's
like
you know what? I respect that.
Listen,
No. I'm not. I respect that.
Okay.
My thing is I don't sleep. I struggle to sleep, so I read a lot, and also I listen to a lot of audiobooks as well. So I do a lot of mixed media consumption. So like as you guys see the Kindles here, I read on Kindle when I'm traveling because it's easier, and I devour things through Kindle quick. And then I also like when I'm like driving or if I'm working out at the gym, I'm listening to audiobooks. So it makes the pace also quicker, but I'm also a fast reader.
Okay, so it's not that I'm a bad reader, I just sleep well. Cool. What are we talking about today, Michelle?
Sure. Man just dissed my... Yo, guys, there's a lot going on. Why did I ask Kevin to be part of this podcast now? I feel like I got this DM and next thing I really should have just ignored it.
I'm the voice of the people.
I should have just ignored it.
They say they love me, I hear.
I think I should have ignored it. Anyway.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
Today we're talking about another book that I got the arc of last year, which is Katabasis by R.F. Kuang.
Say that again.
Katabasis.
Oh, not Katabasis. Oh my.
I feel like...
I've been saying Katabasis.
Can you pass me the book? Can you please pass me the book?
Katabasis.
But I think,
Katabasis.
to be honest, I think it's pronounced Katabasis because that's how she says it.
Okay.
But I when I first got it, I also called it Katabasis.
Okay.
I feel like, guys, say it however you want to say it.
Great.
It's a Greek word, so maybe a Greek person should tell us how it's supposed to be said.
Right.
Essentially.
What does that mean?
Katabasis.
Right, yeah.
A hero's descent to hell.
Okay.
Which is this entire book is about a descent into hell.
A descent into hell. That is interesting. Already my first question, I have it.
Okay, tell us. Before I even tell you guys what this book's about, tell us.
Yes, my first question is, unlike what we covered last time, which was very character driven, is this character driven or is it more worldly driven? Because, you know, we got the hell thing being like the main cast here.
The hell is the main character in this.
Hell is the main character.
Hell is a main character.
Okay.
A main character, right? But it's also R.F. Kuang's world building is incredible. So we didn't get to talk a lot about world building in the last episode. Like VE, an incredible world builder.
Right.
This book is literally a masterclass in world building. Right. However, it is also about character. It's about two people. And actually, you know what? Why don't you read us the little back?
Right, guys. This has become a thing on this podcast.
It's the second time. It's not a thing, but it's the second time.
So it's going to be a thing. So the back page, the back cover, right? Alice Law. You naughty girl.
Why are you reading it like that? Oh my gosh, guys.
Forgive my mind.
Read it properly.
Alice Law. You naughty girl.
I apologize, guys. Kevin is like a child. Kevin is a child, guys.
Okay, I'm sold. Alice, sticky pie. Alice Law. You naughty girl. You're trying to go to hell.
You know,
Tell me about Alice Law.
Give me that. No. Alice Law, you naughty girl. You're trying to go to hell.
Okay, now that sounds very professional. I see why you do this, because
Can you try to be professional, please?
I will.
Next episode, I'm gonna need you to be professional. Get it together, Maina and I. Get it together, Maina and I.
Got this.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the naughty girl.
Let's talk about Alice Law.
Let's talk about Alice Law.
I roll.
Okay.
So, this book, contrary to what Kevin just did there, because I don't know what that is, guys. I apologize. I don't know what that was. Contrary to what Kevin just did there. So this is about 2 PhD students.
Oh.
They're supervisors. So any of you that have had the unfortunate pleasure of having to write a gigantic ass thesis that requires a supervisor will understand the plight of Alice. So I keenly felt the plight of Alice and Peter Murdoch. I keenly felt their plight.
Yeah.
So these 2 PhD students who are studying magic, their PhD supervisor dies. And they are going to hell to go get a job recommendation from the man before they graduate, because...
Not to check up on the man? He's in hell.
Please, you spent how many years doing your PhD? Now your supervisor's dead and everybody's good looking at you going, oops, good luck with life. You need a PhD supervisor needs to rubber stamp that PhD and go, aces, give the girl a job, give the guy a job. And that is the problem of Alice and Peter Murdoch. So,
wow.
So this line that you so badly did not read properly.
So who says...
Peter Murdoch says this to Alice.
Okay.
So he walks in on Alice while she's busy, like, essentially casting the spell to go to hell, to descend into hell.
Okay.
And he literally looks at her and goes, Alice Law, you naughty girl, you're trying to go to hell. And then he joins her.
That's it?
Which is why I said in our open, bring a pencil, because you're out here trying to get a recommendation and take notes.
Yes.
Bring your rival. Our academic rival is Peter Murdoch, and let's go for a wild adventure.
Well, I have so many questions. First of all, what time period is this? How do they know the lecturer is in hell and not heaven? And how are we getting there?
Okay, there's a lot of questions.
I know.
Yeah. Let's do this. Okay, first thing,
Do you have your notes?
I have my notes.
Okay. Cool.
This is happening in the 80s.
Oh, cool.
Right? So there's a lot, we're going to see a lot about ideas around feminism in this. And because this is like the rise of, modern day feminism and things like that. So there's a lot of, there's a lot going on. So she doesn't actually outwardly say what time period we're in.
Okay.
But you can guess is the 1980s, right?
Right.
So Alice and Peter, they don't inherently kind of go, there's a vast difference between heaven and hell, right? It's, yes, they talk about it as hell because, the title of the book is Katabasis, and there's a lot of Greek mythology, things like Orpheus and Eurydice's story, kind of plays a thing in this. And for those of you that don't know about Orpheus and Eurydice's story, it's literally Orpheus is this Orpheus is like a demigod, I think. He's the son of a god. And Eurydice is the love of his life. And she dies unexpectedly one day. And he goes to Hades to go bring her back. And he says to Hades, can I please have the love of my life back? And Hades like, no one has ever come into hell. And Hades says to him, okay, fine. You can take Eurydice back, but she will follow you from behind. You do not look back until you have exited hell. If you look back, you will lose her forever. And Orpheus is like, I can do this. And Orpheus, being Orpheus, he's so excited. As soon as he gets to the gate, the doorway, about to exit hell, as soon as he can see the light, he's so excited, he forgets that they both needed to cross the threshold. And he turns, and Eurydice screams, and she's taken back to hell, right? So there's a lot of this kind of idea of going, it's like Dante's Inferno, all these books, like so many amazing books that I've read in the past, made it so much more exciting to read this, but you do not have to read. You do not have to do a pre-read. So anyway, sorry, that was just a little bit of contextualization for the people that Maina and I is the voice of.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily a case of thinking of hell as like a heaven and a hell kind of situation, right? So, obviously R.F. Kuang, I think she's Chinese or of Chinese descent, and Alice Law is of Chinese descent. So they talk, so her idea, her understanding of hell is like the court of Lord Yama. right? Okay. But the Lord Yama can be Hades, can be any of the many ways in which you define the ruler of hell, right? Yeah. But it's not necessarily hell, but it's the ruler of the underworld. So when you get to the underworld, it's not about whether or not you are going to hell for pure punishment. It's like you're going to the underworld and you're going to go kind of, I don't want to use the word repent, but kind of go through the trials of the sins you committed, and then get a reincarnation into a rebirth and move on to be reborn into the next phase of life, right? So that's kind of the context in which the way she writes the story. So so a lot of it is Lord Yama is Alice's focal point because that is her point of belief.
I see.
But it's also because the author, that is the author's kind of premise for the story, Peter Murdoch, who is British, also is kind of, but they don't think of hell they don't think of hell in a religious way. It's a very academic way. This whole book is super academic in the way they think about things.
Because I had a question about that. So if I'm not a scholar, and I haven't gone through the pain of having to get my theses,
PhD,
or my PhD.
Aren't you like getting a master's?
I am right now. So I'm speaking to my voice of the people, right?
Voice of the people.
So voice for the people, my people who are not scholars, because I know I'd love this book. You love this book. What are other ideas in it that would resonate with a reader that are not academic, sort of?
Yeah. So the book is not inherently academic.
Good.
Right?
Okay.
It just, we do experience it from the point of view of two academics. But what we see, a lot of it is the pressures of academia. Guys, academia is a brutal place to be when you're a postgraduate student, especially when you're trying to do a PhD, right? I know, because, sorry, Harrison, but that's the conversation that we will not be having today, right?
Yeah.
The pressures of academia can feel...
Wait, do you have a PhD?
I have a halfway PhD.
You have a halfway PhD because you have, oh my gosh.
We're not talking about my academic life right now. We're talking about Katabasis.
Katabasis, yeah.
So, but the point is, right, it's not inherently about academia. It is the point of view of the people we're experiencing these books through. So it's two point of view, Peter Murdoch and Alice Law. Alice Law being our main protagonist, if you will.
The naughty girl. According to the
I would need you to stop with that, sir. Yo, this guy.
All right, cool. Alice Law.
This is the problem with poets, guys. They think everything is like...
I know.
Can we focus?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good, it's like a good thumbnail to have on a book cover because it will get me opening this book real quick.
Now we know what your mind is thinking, but okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, so if you look at like Alice and the way, she's thinking about something, Alice is... She's the child of like, maybe second and third generation immigrants.
Right.
She feels the pressure to be good. The way the world of magic is another thing as well. The magic system in this book. So I think there's I'm trying to see if it's on the shelf. Yeah. So I don't know if we can see this on the in any of the shots, but guys, this is Babel, which is the Arquan's book from, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
And I think she kind of wrote this book to prepare us to read this book, to read Katabasis, because the magic system in both books are so interesting and so they're so based in academics. So this is, Babel's based, the magic system is based on language.
Okay.
This is literally based on the idea of suspension of belief. So if I believe that this room, if I can suspend the belief that this room has 4 corners or 4 walls, and I can turn this door into a circle, then I could draw some sort of pentagrammic things with chalk that will make that happen.
I see.
If I just suspend the belief, it's one of the, I always say to people, like, I when I read the book, I understand the magic system and how it works, but I can't actually really explain it to people. Which is fantastic for a writer, like to be able to write something that a reader while reading it can understand, but it's unable to explain.
Yeah,
that's a mind, like it's literally, excuse the language, but it's a freaking mind fuck.
Yeah,
like that's what it is, right? So take that. So you got this super ambitious young woman who is got huge anxiety issues. She's self-harm. So guys, if you're a sensitive reader that, struggle with self-harm or anxiety or just many of the many themes that pop up for Alice in this book, please be careful when you read this book.
Yeah.
And there's a huge thing around shame. Like, Alice lives with her shame like it's a person on her back. And it is excruciating to witness. And Peter lives with his shames in a similar way. And they both are living the separate parallel worlds that are so close that they don't know. And they keep thinking the other is out to get, especially Alice. Alice is being a woman, and I understand it because Alice is convinced Peter's just trying to outdo her and just like get her and undermine her and undercut her. And actually, most of the time, he's just trying to protect himself from his own things. And he's trying to be better for her in some ways. Like there is a bit of a love story here, but it's so subtle. Yeah. Are you about to ask that?
Because I was like, to hell with love, it says.
Yes, to hell with
love.
Like,
I can see these two characters, Alice, the anxious, probably just a go-getter, right? You could tell me if I'm wrong, maybe shy to some extent. And Peter comes off as this other, the language he's using back here. But anyway, comes off as this maybe confident scholar, also a go-getter. But they're two different
super cavalier. Things like everything seems super easy for him.
Exactly. So is there like a love thing that happens?
There is, but it's so subtle.
Okay.
It's so subtle. I don't even think they realize their feelings until so much later. I think, to be honest, Alice only realizes her feelings maybe in the last pages of this book.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's not the focus is really about is the people and is the lengths they will go to try to assuage their guilt.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say do better, but what would you do to assuage your guilt? Like, how far will you go? I think that's a question that kind of the book asks.
Okay.
In a way. Yeah. So I want to read what I wrote.
Please do.
I feel like I've explained some of it.
Okay.
Where I was like, so obviously Alice Law, who wants to become the brightest mind in analytical magic, which is her field of study. Her path runs through one man, the professor who can make or break her future.
Right.
He dies and he's in hell. Because all souls apparently go to hell in this world, right? Alice and her academic rival Peter Murdoch must descend to retrieve him. Hell is not what philosophers decided. Its rules are upside down, cooperation, or failure. So literally they have to work together whether they like it or not, right?
Yeah.
And mind you, neither of these people have ever gone to hell before. It's not like people are just going to hell. It's not like there's a bus pass they can take to hell and just be like, all right, I'm a buy a ticket. I'm a buy a return ticket, premium economy, please, business, whatever. No, that's not what's happening here. So they are theorizing how they get there, how they bring him back. Because the idea here is like they bring him back, it gives them a good recommendation, yay, happiness, right? They're theorizing all of these things. And Alice spends a lot of time researching to do this. And this is one of her angst as well, because she's like, I've spent so much time researching.
Yeah.
And now Peter's just like sauntered in like, you naughty girl, you're going to hell. I'm going to come with you,
Yeah.
So she secures this dangerous ritual that they have to do. Kind of Peter inserts himself. I wouldn't say Peter gets dragged in. Peter inserts himself into the plan because he too technically has also been researching, as we find out later. And they open the door, but hell's not what they expect it to be. It's like this weird mirror world of sort of, but not quite. They see like people are waiting. There's bureaucracy in hell, guys.
Interesting.
They are, the maps are not right. The thing Dante, Orpheus, all the things they read about, like all the Greek like things they read, the philosophers, everything they read to prepare them to go to hell. Wrong.
Nothing.
None of them are making sense, right? And now they have to like figure out how to do it. Their magic doesn't work in hell. So like the ground, because the way they perform magic, you gotta draw these shapes into the ground. The ground is just absorbing the chalk, and they're like, "Is it bad chalk? Like, what are we doing?" And Alice is like, she's analytical. She wants proof. She wants something. Everything has to be clean, you know. And hell is about anomalies for them. Like they see a lot of anomalies. So they're both in different pieces. So Peter is like more mathematical. So there's a lot of math in his thing. Whereas Alice is like logic.
Yeah.
Please don't make a wisecrack about how Alice is like me, logical. So it's like these two people who feel like opposites need to figure out a way to make it work as a singular unit.
Right. I'm trying to figure out the emotional journey as you're reading this.
Going to hell is not an emotional journey enough for you?
I'm trying to, without maybe like going into the details of spoiling the book, like what's that, consistent emotional tour that you get as you're reading the book?
So, like from an emotional point of view, for Alice has a lot of secrets.
Right.
And a lot of bad things have happened to Alice. But here's a catch. This professor Alice is trying to go rescue performed a piece of magic on her. That means she can never forget anything. No matter what it is. She remembers it and it's crystal clear in her mind always. But that just means there's too much. The human mind is not meant to carry information like that.
Yeah.
There's too much information.
Can be anxious.
If Alice can look at this room and remember every single detail, where everything was, Alice can come into this room and it's not about having an eidetic memory, photographic memory. It's not about that. Where you can look at something and remember it. Is that it's not she doesn't have photographic memory. It's just like the spell forces her mind to retain everything. So Alice can come back in 20 years' time to this room and know exactly where each book was, know exactly how this was placed, how your shirt was sitting, how my necklace was. How do you know what I mean? That's a curse.
Yeah.
And because of that, she's also slowly losing her mind. It's made her mind much more effective in that it retains more information, but it's also made it ineffective because it doesn't know how to sort them. So she can't tell what is actually real and what's not. So her imagination gets like, she can't, when you imagine something, you have like a little fleeting fancy, you forget your fleeting fancies sometimes, or you remember them like it's like a haze. Alex remembers them as reality. She thinks of them as, so she struggles with that. So, and she promised not to tell anyone because it's illegal to experiment on human beings.
Yeah.
And he did, and he was experimenting on, like this man was a shady SOB. Like he was a bad teacher.
Yeah.
He was a terrible teacher. He wasn't even that brilliant when you get to look at the book, but Alice would do anything to please him.
Yeah.
And Peter, it's what's also the same, it's kind of the same, but also has a little bit more foresight to kind of be like, oh, wait, this man's like, no, this is not okay, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that kind of emotional journey where Alice needs to figure out, like, is the price of brilliance a loss of self? Is that the cost you're willing to pay for brilliance, right? And remember earlier I talked about how there's a lot around feminism and things like that. So there's a female professor in their department that Alice kind of like writes off because it's like, oh, I don't want to be involved in this feminism thing. I'm not that interested. And when she runs into trouble, she goes to this female professor for help. And she says to her, why are you interested in women supporting women today? And it's like, and it's not a mean conversation, but it's the way she has the conversation that also makes you think like, okay, what can I do?
Yeah.
I'm trying to fight for power. I barely have power. So the characters in this book, there's a lot around abuse, like, abuse of power by this professor and how they kind of inherently feel like it's their fault. And they kind of, like Peter, again, spoiler alert, we find that Peter has, I think it's Crohn's disease. I'm trying to remember what it was, but it's one of those like, I think it was Crohn's disease. And it's like one of those diseases that was like really only beginning to become prevalent in like the 80s. So no one knew how to manage it properly.
Yeah.
So they like his body would give up on him, and he would literally be so sick. Like he couldn't eat anything. He couldn't digest food. And then like medication, they would try this medication. There are days where he couldn't get out of bed. He'll be in hospital on an IV drip for like weeks on end. And his professor once said to him, when he eventually said, "This is the reason I've been missing class," or whatever it was, it's like, well, try not to let it get in your way kind of vibe. Like okay. that his response was like, it's an inconvenience. Please don't let it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I get what you mean.
So it's one of those things where you're reading this book and you just feel so bad for these kids. I'm like, these kids, they need to like turn around and go home immediately.
Yeah.
Like no job, no degree is worth it. But also as someone who understands that academic journey, I know that once you give up so many years of your life in the quest of one academic pursuit, it is so hard to be convinced that it is not worth it.
Oof, I love that. That is true. Brilliant. So I have
questions.
Maybe one question.
Is it 1 or 1,000?
Maybe 2.
Do you have your notes?
I do have my notes. I'm curious if there's anything that surprised you while reading this book.
How much I liked it.
Okay. Did you expect not to?
It's not that I expected not to, right? Okay, it took me forever to read Babel. So I read Babel, I think, I want to say either last year, January, or 2024, December, right? And I'd had it for a very long time. And I'm not going to lie, guys, I only read it, I think it was after Yellow Face, which is another of her books, became like the Waterstone Book of the Year. And I thought that was a brilliant book. And I've read her other books. I've read The Poppy Wars. Oh my gosh, The Poppy Wars. Read The Poppy Wars. But I was like, I read Babel. It took me a while to kind of work into it because, again, the magic system was like breaking my brain, but in a good way, because I like my brain being broken in good ways. But I was just like, it's all right. It's cool. It's a solid book. It's a solid book. I enjoyed it. So I expected this to be a solid book. I did not expect it to be a brilliant book.
Okay.
I expect it to be, at least for me. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are like, oh my gosh, she's like, the book sounds like I should be a PhD student. No, like, guys, please. It is okay for an author to treat us like smart people. It is okay for them to use big words that make sense for what they're writing. It is perfectly okay. Let us not expect that authors are going to treat us like we're 12-year-olds reading a book a 12-year-old should not be reading. So I really, what I like, that's what she just wrote a book that, from the point of view of the people, 2 PhD students are going to have very smart, very academic-like conversations.
100%. So would you say the tone is philosophical, or is it, because it also gives me a hopeful sense, less poetic perhaps than our previous, vampire.
I suppose, there's definitely a hopeful tone as we get into this. Look, this thing gets dark, man. Like, ish gets insane. There's like, someone dies, and that's not even the person that we're trying to get from hell. Another person dies. Where there's danger in hell, you know. You don't know how they're going to get out, because they don't even know how they're going to get out, right? At some point, they're going to have to confront the ruler of hell, and he's going to be like, what are you doing in my house for vibes? You know what I mean? And when they meet this professor that they're trying to, like, what is going to happen? The man is not a nice man. Like, what is going to happen? Can Alice's fragile psyche handle? Because Alice's psyche is fragile. And there's constant danger that they will fall into the river Leith, which is like the river of forgetting. Like, as soon as you get into that river, your whole life, you forget your whole life because you're going to go into the next life, right? Jeez. So they're trying not to like fall into the river, and if you fall into the river and you like even for a little bit and you forget, so you don't know what you forgot because you forgot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is definitely, I feel like there is some hope. Yeah, it eventually gets hopeful. Like it's just dark, man.
Is it one of those books that you finish reading and you have to take like a breather? Talk to your therapist. What questions does it leave?
2 seasons ago, I read a book like that I had to go take a walk. I had to take a mental health walk.
Okay.
It's called Navula. I was like halfway through Navula, I was just like, yo, there's a lot. I put the book down. I went downstairs and I walked around the neighborhood and I remember sitting when I got back, I sat down at the balcony, I took a breath and I had a cup of tea and I thought about my life before I went back to this book. So Katabasis, did I need to take a mental health walk? I did not need to take a mental health walk.
Okay.
Right? I've also read it 3 times.
Okay.
So I read the ARC, which is the advanced reader copy, which was sent to me by Jonathan Ball Publishers. Thank you guys. That was lovely. Mm-hmm. So I read that twice. And then I read this final version of it, which is the Waterstones edition with that beautiful little edition. Like spray edge.
Yeah.
So I read just because I always like to read the final version just to see if there's any little subtle differences and whatnot. I actually want to listen to the audiobook because I want to see the difference in the character because there's going to be, I wonder if there's 2 voices in the audiobook. I want to do that.
That's actually a good idea.
So you're going to listen to audiobook?
Yeah, I'm actually going to listen to the audiobook. Sounds interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, look, for me, I think one of the most powerful things about this book is just this idea of what the human psyche can take, right? Like I said, Alice's psyche is fragile. Peter's body is failing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they are trying to make their way through this insane place to do this insane thing and figure out each other in the process. So that was like a good vibe.
Okay. I can see it in my mind.
You can see it. You just want a movie. You just want a movie.
Yeah, I was
you want a movie of everything. You want a movie of everything.
They make that.
You like Marco. So guys, Marco in the podcast studio also, he's like, Mish, every time you talk about a book, I also want to see. I'm thinking this would make a good movie.
It's like I'm thinking about the scenes. You know. Initially, it was like lava, hell. But now I'm like, whoa, there's a river of forgetfulness.
There's so many things. And then there's like
the bureaucracy.
There's like these bone creatures, like this, like they look like dog, but they're like these creatures in hell that are made by these other 2 this crazy couple and their son who are like, I don't know, man. That was a crazy situation. Then there's like this other student, because I think this is based in Cambridge. Is it Cambridge or Oxford? Cambridge, I think. I want to say Cambridge. Can't remember, guys. It's either Cambridge or Oxford. Because to be honest, I think this Babel is Oxford, that is Cambridge. I think, or the other way around. But anyway, there's this other student who was a student of this professor who's like now a weird hell pirate. It's good. It's like there's a lot going on in this book, but it's so good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I said, I expected it to be solid. I didn't expect it to be brilliant, and I love that it was brilliant. And I love that she treats us like smart readers, and I love an author that treats me like I'm smart. Because also I learn. I learn through it, and it's great. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is Katabasis. Guys, the way Kevin says things, like, yo.
No, me, I was like, today we're doing
poetry. You're doing poetry every day. Every day you're doing poetry.
Day. Do you have a gift for me?
I have another gift for you. Why don't you bring me gifts? You don't bring me gifts.
I'm here.
Yeah. Kevin says I'm the gift.
Hey, I'm the gift.
I thought I gave you a book the last time, but I didn't give you a bookmark. Because you can't read books without bookmark.
So I've been using like a receipt.
Okay, let's not discuss Kevin's situation. Why didn't you just use your boarding pass?
You know.
Also, at some point, we got to talk about what you keep coming to do in Joburg.
I love the vibes, guys. You know, I'm trying to read books.
In Joburg, you can read books in Nairobi. You get what textbook center has books in Nairobi.
But I've realized I always shop for books here because there's some books we don't have.
Really?
So
okay. Well,
I look for them, and now I'm here, and now I'm getting, my shopping budget is slim, so I'm getting.
Give me back my gift.
Hey,
where's my gift?
I'm here.
You cannot be my gift. I'm sorry.
I'm
no offense.
I'm helping you spice up this season.
Is that a good thing?
Bombshell.
Is that a good thing? Are you the hot bombshell in the book corner?
Should I stand?
Please don't. Please don't.
So thank you. You're welcome.
You're welcome that I invited you to my book corner.
I'm happy to be here.
Tell us how to say thank you in Swahili.
Asante sana. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And I will say, how do I say you're welcome?
Karibu.
Karibu.
Yeah.
Karibu.
Karibu.
Okay, guys, that was this episode of the Book Corner. Thank you guys so much for joining us. You can find me on social media, Globemish on everything, and he is
Maina Mind on everything.
And we will see you next time. And we out.